As a matter of fact, I do, Fred. There's quite a bit of cloud cover, and I'm having a little difficulty identifying land masses. I'll be able to pick it up by the next time around here.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good word to remember, that texture business.
Yeah. And Fred, I have a binocular on the moon now out window 5, and it's really starting to look very interesting from this point of view. System 14. I have the home planet out the hatch window now, and where did you say the Terminator is?
Oh, guesstimation was somewhere between Sudan and India.
Roger.
And looking at your position overhead here, you ought to have Philippines, mainland, the Far East in sight.
As a matter of fact, I do, Fred. There's quite a bit of cloud cover, and I'm having a little difficulty identifying land masses. I'll be able to pick it up by the next time around here.
Okay. And 14 Houston.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a sunrise Terminator there, Ed. I guess from your
Well, hopefully everybody can hear me who's on the call. Welcome. It's evening here in the UK, and yeah, just doing some audio stuff. Thought I'd come online very quickly, just for 10 minutes, and show you some of the stuff that's going on. This is the latest audio that we're doing. It's Apollo 14. It's day 2, and I'm just basically going through the edit now. So the whole track. Obviously, I don't play the whole track, as it were, with all these silencers in. We take them out. I take them out, and use Audacity to do that, and just basically roll up to the next piece of audio, because otherwise we're sitting here for hours sometimes, waiting for them to talk again. So,
Houston.
and then on the left-hand side here is the transcript from the journal. So just following along, that I'm not missing anything, because it's quite easy to take one of these out, one of these tiny pieces of audio out, especially when there's a small Roger and it's really low in the background. So yeah, leaving gaps, and then people often come on the channel and say, there's no way that's the audio from the Earth to the Moon, because the response is too quick. And the reason is, on these videos, is because they've been edited down, so we take out most of the gaps. So between there 256 and 256.25 and 15, 10 seconds, but it's another 10 seconds of the video which doesn't need to be heard, as it were. It's just silence.
Part of it seems to be be in darkness right now, but I seem to be seeing about half of a very large circulating air mass.
Roger it.
Ah, Cameron, that's a shame. Are you hearing me okay? If anybody's on the chat, they can let me know they can hear me. That would be good. And can they hear the audio that's being played as well? I'll carry on for a while. If I have to delete the video because nobody can hear me, then... there we go. He can hear. Good evening. Evening, Cameron. False alarm there. Thought I'd have to start again. I don't. Yeah, one of the problems with this audio editing is when you get into noise. So I just need to find out where I am here.
Circulating air mass.
Roger it.
It's here, so that's easy to find out. So that's where I am on the tape, and I can see some noise coming up on the tape, which I'm looking for the home planets out of my field of view now, Fredo, which is going to be in here somewhere. It's just looking for it. This is the spacecraft turning in PTC. So hopefully, if I cut this bit off and then.
Okay, stand by 1 Ed. We got kind of a bad comm right now.
And that's that bit there, so they won't probably start talking again until they get out of this. When the PTC is going on with the Omnis, as it's turning, it loses signal for a little while. I'll show you in a second how that looks on an audio if you've not seen them before. So we'll get rid of this, and then we should come to this bit here. Houston, Apollo 14, are you there?
Houston, Apollo 14, are you there?
There we go. And so if I zoom out here, you'll see, I'll zip this up for you. As you'll see the PTC. You see these, this is the PTC as they go out of Omni contact. They're not using the S-band antenna. There's all this, which if you haven't seen it before, that's what that is. I'm just having a read of the chat just very quickly. I probably won't leave this video up this time. I just thought I'd just come on board and say hello. Yes, they did, Campbell. Yeah, I don't know if is that day 3. I remember them saying it, but they didn't know whether they could see it. Hey, Dave, Master, I'm not too sure about that. Master of not much. Watch day 3 of Apollo 17. Thank you, Cameron. Nice to hear somebody's watched the whole thing. If you watched the whole thing, great. Thank you. Adds to the watch time. This audio then, let me just skip this back to here. Let me just get back to what I'm doing. So.
Earth, moon, plane, and you ought to have them pretty much centered in the window about that.
Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you.
That's what we're up to. So the fact that I now know that I'm now 6 minutes away from the next one is quite easy. I haven't got to zoom out. I'll just go and find it. This series for a day, if you don't know, these audios, round about 6 or 7 of them for each day when they're traveling out to the moon. At the moment, you can see at the top there, it's nearly 3 hours long for the whole day. So far to this point, we're not at sleep time yet, but we're not far away. Averagely 3 hours to 4 hours for each day, I find, in transit across to the moon. Same for on the way back. Obviously, during the lunar orbit time and on the surface, it's nearly real time. So you can see there's nothing there. I'll check it though. So I'll go.
Gives a rippling effect as the sun passes across it. Very interesting.
14 Houston.
Go ahead.
Okay, I heard a little bit of your onset there, Ed, before Omni B got us again with the bad comm there. And I guess LEM 8 got built just like LEM 7, because I noted that same sort of thing there.
For those of you who don't realize, this is Fred Hayes talking, so he's talking about Aquarius. So. Dave, it's a really good question, and one I get asked all the time. And I leave it in, and the reason I leave it in is because it's part of the historical tape. It's there already. There's only been occasions where I've removed the noise. One was for STS3, which had some awful background noise that you couldn't listen to the audio without it. There were some awful bits. And occasionally, if the hissing is so bad, because it can get really bad, but I actually prefer to leave it. Would you believe? Because that's what's on the tape. It's interesting because on the on the flight director loops, sometimes those comms are so clear there's no hiss, but these are banks of tape recorders recording, over hours, 9-10 hours per tape, and 60s technology really. So there was bound to be hiss, I suppose, but the way it is. But it's the background. It's almost the background noise to space, isn't it? It's almost, I don't know what it is. It's something, I quite like it. I'm so used to it now. But yeah, it's a great question. I've been asked it so many times. And I suppose you could, if you dampened it down a little bit, you would, you would gain something from that, I suppose, in a way. But these noises here, this PTC here, this noise you can see on the screen. Although I'm going to edit it out, I do leave some noise in sometimes. But I don't know. I like the noise. I like the noise. I like the noise too much. See how many times this thing turns round onto the wrong Omni. Here comes PAO. You can tell when PAO comes, it's a much clearer sound. He takes off the air to ground noise.
This is Apollo Control, 37 hours, 7 minutes ground elapsed time. Very sparse conversation coming from the crew of Apollo 14. This crew won't be noted for being verbose. 37 hours, 7 minutes ground elapsed time. Continuing to monitor air ground as long as the crew is awake. This is Apollo Control.
That's an interesting point. Again.
This is Apollo Control, 37 hours, 7 minutes ground elapsed time.
That's a really interesting point that either I've lost my space or he's not calling the right time. He might be calling the original time without the time taken back. Might be, but I doubt it. Let's have a listen again. Go back here.
I guess I need to go look out the window down there too.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control, 37 hours, 7 minutes ground elapsed time. Very sparse conversation coming from the crew of Apollo 14.
Yeah, he's definitely misidentifying
this crew won't be noted for being verbose.
Surprised on the
Gee-whiz numbers on the mission.
I'm surprised on the journal they didn't point it out. Oh no, we're right. It's just a very long comm break coming up. I've got it. It's been a long day. Even I'm getting it wrong. Master at work, huh? You must be kidding. That's why I've seen 2 PTCs go, because there's nearly an hour past. Hour and a half till they speak again. That's a lot. I was ahead of myself. 39 hours. Been a long day, hasn't it? There we go.
Apollo 14, Houston.
Now when they start charging batteries, which they are here, they're getting near towards the end of the day. So when they start the stuff, there's some comms in here somewhere. It's Apollo 14. I started doing, this is day 2, but I started putting together day 3 before I did day 2. I thought I'd done day 2. So I've had to go back. I've already got day 3 in the can, as it were, so it's ready. And there's the final because Apollo 15 did it, but there's the into the LM footage, which comes on day 3 of Apollo 14. It's quite interesting. It's very dark if you've seen the footage of the TV coverage. Very, very dark. Oh, this is going to take a while. We're going to zoom out. It'll take forever to go through that. It's a long time till they talk again. Just got to watch it, isn't it?
Go ahead, 14.
You can tell they're getting tired as well. It's quite obvious in their voices.
Houston.
The one I enjoyed the most, if anybody's asking me, which I will tell you, the one I enjoyed the most was the flight director loop for Apollo 13, because I didn't have to do any of this. I just let it run in real time. It was a lot easier. And that's the end of the tape. That's where I wanted to get to. And now what would happen now is that I'll load up the next one. It's the last one before the bedtime. And then this part of the audio will be complete. I'm going to stop the live stream in a second. Really appreciate people just jumping onto the call very quickly. It didn't really show any visuals. Just thought you'd like to see how the audio is done for most full missions. This is the way we do it. And I hope it gives you an insight into it. I'm going to start loading up the next one. Here we go. 450. Here it comes. And maybe we'll load it up and then transfer it up. But it's a long process to get the audio out of real time into edit, and it takes a while. Once it's done, then this goes onto the editor and start adding the graphics in and everything else to it, and then it's ready for release. So I think this one's probably going to be a few more weeks. These are not difficult ones on the transit out. If you saw Apollo 17 day 3 lately, and you've seen the others, you'll know that it's just putting on a little bit of graphic and the flight plan and showing the odd rocket burn if they do one. If they do a mid-course correction, I can show it. But it's basically adding the pictures and any film they took. Part 3, day 3 of Apollo 14 is really interesting because the film is around. They film the water dump with the 16mm camera, which I didn't know they did or had done, but they do. Found the footage. It's not great, but it is part of the record. So yeah, it's going to be a thing. And Apollo 14 doesn't get that much press, really, does it? It's kind of in the background all the time. So it's nice to actually give it a place. And I know when we get to the moon, the TV picture isn't the greatest. I've watched all that footage, but it's nice to watch the whole thing. We're planning. Brian and I are planning on when we get to 14 on the moon, which is a way away yet. We're planning on showing a map of where they are, kind of similar to what we did with Apollo 12, but probably not so much detail to show what's going on, because otherwise they just walk off camera and you won't see anything. So we'll keep the TV picture going because that's live and part of the record, but you need to see where they're going and what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting reconstructing 14 a little bit to show what they're doing. Hello JT, how you doing? Good to see you. It's got to be it. I don't know what time it is there. It's got to be morning. I don't know. It's late here. I mean, it's late here. It's 10 to 8 in the evening. Lovely evening in the UK. Lovely evening in the UK. One of the last because it's it's a bank holiday weekend here soon, which is a day off we get on a Monday, which is nice. But it's going to rain, so but that's the myth. It always rains on a bank holiday. Great to see you, JT. Yeah, JT, it's nice to see people just turn up. I mean, this is just an ad hoc. Hello, this is how we do the audio type thing. So it's lovely to have people along.
Because there is a lag in what I'm telling you is there's a lag in those needles moving by about a quarter of a second from what the actual chamber pressure is.
Okay, I understand.
And again, you can hear the voices getting tireder and tireder as they go through all this. So they have their checklists to do, and they're in the flight plan. I'm sure that will be coming up. They're doing the flight date, the flight plan update at the moment, I think here. So yeah. So JT, just for info, I'm sure you know how this is done, but this is the audio bit of we're on Apollo 14, and it's the long-winded editorial thing. It should
14,
say.
Houston. I know you'll be happy to hear that we won't have a need to do the uplink here at 3940. The state vector looks in great shape as is.
Very good. Glad to hear that. You're right.
We won't have to work that in this busy schedule here.
And then we're looking for PAO again. For those joining, this is the last tape in the series that is going on this one. It ends there. There we go. The last tape is
This is Apollo Control.
14 on day 2. And
At a ground elapsed time of 82 hours, 37 minutes, 33 seconds.
PAO lost his words there, didn't he? And then he'll say...
At 40 hours, 1 minute. Ground elapsed time, this is Apollo Control.
Yeah. This is... do you know, I've spent... How many years have we been doing these things? A long time.
14, Houston.
And that's not right. Let's get rid of that. We lost some audio. Just check again. That one's the last bit.
At 40 hours, 1 minute.
Yeah,
Ground elapsed time.
I've got to find audio now. It'll be somewhere in all this mud of... here it is. There it is. I missed it. Try it from there.
Okay, and we see you're now 93s. Okay, and we see you're now 93s. Roger, 0401100. And 14, Houston, who's the duty cook tonight? Go.
It's stuff like that you miss. You see this here with.
And 14, Houston, who's the duty cook tonight?
You got to be really careful because this little piece of audio here from Alan Shepard is there. You can't hear him hardly, but he's there, and I'm a stickler for it. I'm terrible. I'll just make sure I've got it all before I let it go. If I don't have it, I'll go back and re-edit. I just cannot. I couldn't think that I would want to ever produce something where I edited out a piece of audio. I probably have in the beginning, but I don't tend to. I know, I go back.
Hello, 14, Houston. Okay, we'd like H2, H.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, so merrily I sit here doing this, and I'm sure JT's on the call. He probably can tell you hours and hours and hours of going through audio and getting the right bit and finding it, and wow, it's quite a thing. The journal is great because it gives you this option here. You can see on the left here, just to play this piece of tape if you want to, but. Sounded like a voice, didn't it? Definitely. And again, same sort of noise. Yeah, radio noise. Again, and just coming to why it's edited. It was I realized when I did Apollo 13 way back that if I didn't do that, it would be too many hours of video. And at the time, YouTube had a restriction on video lengths. You couldn't do, I can't remember what it was, but it was a few hours. Now you could do quite a few hours on YouTube. I don't know if it's even restricted now. When I first started, it was a 10-minute video you could post, or a 15-minute video. So
this is Apollo Control at 41 hours 25 minutes ground elapsed time. According to Flight Surgeon Willard Hawkins, here in Mission Control, the only one still apparently awake is Commander.
Yeah, so the realization came that if I didn't edit all this audio, we would have too long videos in the first place, and then we would have too long videos. Just having the command module, the service module, and the lunar module turning around in PTC for hours on end with no audio just didn't make any sense to me. So it was a question of edit. Oh, here comes PAO with this is a tape of when they go to a press conference. There's always a tape which always slightly mucks up the
through the brief burst of tape. Let's go.
Houston 14, we're ready with our crew status report and with a verb 74.
14 Houston, got a new Capcom now. Stand by one before you start that report.
Okay.
It's nice to know that PAO likes to keep the tapes going as much as I do. I feel like an affinity with PAO.
New Capcom referred to is Gordon Fullerton, who is replacing Fred Hayes at the Capcom's console.
Yeah, JT, hours and hours and hours. Always seems to go by fast. It does, doesn't it? I started this about 45 minutes ago, started doing it, and you learn so much, don't you? This is my first run through. I'll hear the whole thing again, and then I'll hear it again, probably by the end. So I've gone through the tape twice, because you have to listen. I have to listen to the whole thing as I go through. I can see it on the page on the left-hand side, but I've got to be able to hear it again to visualize what I want to put on the screen. You're telling the story, trying to. Yeah, I'll probably hear it twice in full. And you always get to hear things you never did. The morning news on this one was brilliant with Bruce McCandless and Fred Hayes playing newscaster. It was awesome. When you get to this, it's probably the best bit of this tape, I think.
New Capcom referred to is Gordon Fullerton, who is SWAT, by live on air ground at 4135.
Okay, Gordon, Fred made his comment before you left. I guess you're wanting us to reestablish PTC before we back up. And Houston, 14.
14 Houston, go ahead.
Like I say, leave some of the static in because it's part of the record.
Affirmative.
Things I love leaving are little squawks you get after. I have never worked out what it is, but there's a point in the audio, often after they finish talking from the spacecraft, where you hear this kind of squawk. You can recognize it as a human voice, and you can recognize it usually as one of the crew, but it's unintelligible, and I've never worked out why it was broadcast and how it was broadcast, but it's definitely there. And I often leave them in because I just find them fascinating. And I'm coming out as pure geek here because that's what I am.
Okay.
But there's these bits that just fascinate me. Yeah, there you go. There's a bit. Thank you. Right on cue. I hope you heard that because that's exactly what I'm talking about. No idea what that is. JT, ever heard those? Know what they are? I don't know what they are. I think they're from the carrier down, but...
Apollo 14, Houston.
Go ahead, Houston.
Roger, we're waiting for a good Omni to come up before starting that.
You realize listening to these tapes, if you guys have listened to them a lot,
Go ahead.
that there is a lot of problems getting the spacecraft into PTC. I think Apollo 10 found out the way to do it after Apollo 8 had a few problems, but often they have to start again. It's quite a lot of times.
This is Apollo Control, Houston, at 41 hours, 53 minutes, now to the flight.
Maybe so, it's crossbleed. I have no idea what it is. I love it. I think it's comes up all the time.
Apollo 14, Houston, over.
Yeah, hear that? Yeah. I'll leave it in. I like leaving them in.
Apollo 14, Houston.
We'll probably never know, huh? Somebody will know. I'm not sure that's a reflection of the atmosphere. Maybe. It's like they've still got the mic live, but it's not really picking it up on the carrier down. I don't know. I'll leave these ones in. I'm glad I found some. People might have thought I was going mad. Just maybe it's being picked up through the PAO microphone. But if I play the PAO track, they're not there like that. So anyway, Yeah, it's a mystery. We don't know.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 42 hours, 5 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 14. Our displays now show Apollo 14 at a distance of 144,400.
It'd be great when we get spacecraft out with people on them again that are 144,000 nautical miles out. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
This is Apollo Control Houston at
it's
42 hours.
This has, isn't it? Cross bleed from the analog comms. Signal off the atmosphere. Haven't dug into any of the handsets. Balanced or unbalanced audio. Sounds like unbalanced crosstalk on my show. Yeah. I suppose we can't entirely rule out being Russo doing his best impression of a chicken. That's possibly not it. Do you know that's the best explanation I've ever had? That'll do me. It's Russo doing rooster. That's what that is. Thanks, JT. Yeah, it actually sounds like Rooster doing Rooster. One day I'll do an entire tape just of those noises.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 42 hours, 5 minutes.
That's where we were. Let's go to the next one.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 42 hours, 32 minutes.
Whoa, where did that audio go to?
At 42 hours, 5 minutes, this is Apollo Control.
See, I'm not concentrating now, and I've lost some. To delete. Oh, I don't seem to. No, actually.
At 42 hours, 5 minutes, this is Apollo Control Houston.
Where's that bit gone? That bit doesn't seem to be there anymore. Why not? Where's it gone? Somebody's stolen it. It's JT's fault, making me think that Rooster is doing Rooster impressions.
That sounds like a good plan. We want to make sure that got all the activity quieted down before we spin up.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. I'm right there now to PAO. So there's some missing here. It isn't me. Chickens. Oh,
this is Apollo Control Houston at.
He's just PAO has just cut it. There's no audio there. I can't help that one. What I'll do is I might take this and does it give me the audio there?
This is Apollo Control.
Go straight to here. Let's see if they put it at the end.
We'll play that for you now.
Oh, there we go. He's going to play the tape back.
Houston 14.
There it is.
Apollo 14, Houston, go ahead.
Okay, Gordon, I think we're through with all our venting for the present time. Anytime you say, we'll spin up.
That Rooster thing may cause me to change the logo. You know, remember the Roadrunner beep beep for 14?
Okay.
JT, that'll never be the same for me again now. You've spoiled it.
Apollo 14, Houston, looks good now for starting spin up.
Okay, Gordon, we'll give it a go.
Here we come, down to the last.
Apollo Control Houston, 42 hours, 43 minutes into the flight. That brief miles traveling at an ever-decreasing speed.
Okay, we'll just go to the next PAO. So I'll get to the end of the tape here because it's worth doing it into day 3, because if there is enough tape. If I remember rightly, though, all the PAO announcements were on the next tape. So there might be one more. Looks like they wake them up again. Looks like here.
Apollo 14, Houston.
Go ahead.
Roger, I'm sorry to have woken you up if you dozed off. We'd like you to check the S-band normal mode voice switch off.
It's a really good stuff, which you don't know, because if you listen to the tapes regularly, you'll know. You can hear them turn the like when they're around the moon. You can hear them turn the comms off. It has a natural sound to it, and then it suddenly stops when they go to sleep. It's quite surreal when they cut off. Right, I'm just going to go to the end of the tape here. I'm going to see if we get down to 43:32, so it won't be very far up here. Let's just see. I'm not going to sit for hours with it. Usually, you can tell. Here we go. But that might be the end. Yeah, there we go. It's the end of day 2. There we go. And there we go. We get the whole thing. That's all been edited and is complete. That's the whole thing. There you go. It lasts for 3 hours, 20 minutes or so. 3:23. Ta-da! Another one in the can. Hooray! I shall name this one Rooster. That's what I'm going to do. Definitely. Have any of you met a genuine Apollo astronaut? Yes, Cameron, I have. So I've met Charlie Duke. I've met Jim Lovell. And Apollo astronaut, I can count Jack Lousner. I've met Jack Lousner. Yeah, those are those 3 Apollo astronauts I've met. Yeah, I count Jack Lousner because he was on a backup crew, or he was on Skylab, so that counts. Kind of, maybe. All right, 2. Yeah, 2. I missed the chance of meeting John Young, which I was really disappointed in. I went back to my hometown, and my mum said, "Oh, by the way, I've saved a paper clipping. I saw it for you," and it was announcing that John Young was having a talk in my hometown in England, and I could have gone to it, and I was like, "No, she didn't tell me till after the event." It's like, oh. So I missed the chance to see John Young. There we are. Yeah, and of course, less and less of them, as it were. So, contact from has been good, though. Charlie Duke has been good. Jim Lovell was excellent on Apollo 13. It was just a pleasure to email backwards and forwards. And I heard from Alan Bean, and obviously heard from his daughter, Amy, quite a lot, especially for the Apollo 12 stuff. But yeah, I heard from Alan Bean. But astronauts have been, and Jack Lousner has been awesome. Gary Scott from Mission Control, fantastic. Memories now passed away. Yeah, there haven't been a lot. There hasn't been. I don't know how many astronauts actually watch the stuff. If they do, I don't know. It's kind of like they went on the mission. Why would they watch their own mission? I suppose, but I don't know. Never got that feedback. Yeah, Charlie Duke was in London with Tim Peake and other people celebrating something in London. I think Kathy Sullivan was there. I saw a picture. They were doing something in London. Thank you, Brian. That's very, very kind of you. I'm not sure that some of our friends are. Yeah, came from my hometown, and then I've still got the paper clipping somewhere. 10th man on the moon comes to hometown. It's like, wow. When was this? Oh, a couple of weeks ago. Why didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't know. No, she doesn't know. It's not her fault. It's just funny that she hadn't told me. His picture was on my wall as a kid. This is the guy this is the guy I look up to the most. John Young is my hero as an astronaut. So, but I met Charlie, who flew with him, and that was a very special 10 minutes of just chatting to him. Jim, just, oh, what a nice guy. Listened to him for an hour talking in northern England a few years back, and then of course got to shake his hand and say hello. But also, you know, we had been emailing. I wasn't going to say that on the day. I'm not shy, but I just thought it was the wrong time to say, "Hey, I'm the guy who put the emission back together again." I just didn't think it was the right thing to do in front of a load of people taking pictures. But it was nice. It was just nice to meet him. Legend, as they say. Right. I think I'm not sure I'm going to keep this one. I'll leave it on there for a little while. Maybe some people want to come and watch it. It's not the most exciting video I've ever done, but I thought people would like to see how the process of the audio is done. So it's done carefully with respect to the audio, because everything is always done with respect to the original. But this is what it is. It's a very, well, I find it interesting, but maybe people would find it quite boring to do. But I find it interesting. So anyway, I will leave it there. And it was great to have some people along. Currently 13 of you watching the live stream, which is lovely. And I will speak to you soon. Everybody take care, and watch this space, as I always say. Rooster's coming. Catch you later. Bye.